The clock struck 2:13 a.m. when nurse Clara Benton first heard the frantic barking outside Memorial County Hospital. The night had been unremarkable until then: a broken wrist from a bar fight, a bout of food poisoning, and the usual late-night traffic accident. But this was something else. The howling was desperate, slicing through the night like a jagged knife. Clara moved toward the entrance, her heart skipping a beat as the automatic doors slid open. A gust of cool night air rushed in, carrying with it the scent of damp earth and pine. There, silhouetted by the parking lot's flickering light, stood a German shepherd. His thick fur was matted and streaked with what appeared to be dried mud or blood. Clenched in his jaws was a small, soiled baby diaper. "Good Lord, Clara!" whispered. The dog whimpered and took a hesitant step forward, his eyes locked on hers. In them, Clara saw something she couldn't explain: pleading, fear, and an urgent call for help. By now, Dr. Eli Harrow and orderly Matt Brewer had joined her at the doors. "Is that Rex?" Matt asked, recognizing the town's most well-known stray. The old shepherd belonged to no one but was loved by all. He often hung around the outskirts of town and was known for his loyalty and keen instincts. "His hurt," Clara noted, spotting a deep gash on the dog's hind leg, but it wasn't the injury that made her blood run cold, it was the blooded diaper. "Something's wrong," she said. "We have to follow him." Matt fetched a flashlight while Clara grabbed a medical kit. The trio hurried after Rex as he bolted toward the woods behind the hospital. The night was still, the only sounds their hurried footsteps and Rex's soft whimpers. The forest surrounding Memorial County had always held an uneasy reputation. Old Miller's Hollow, as locals called it, was dense and ancient, its canopy so thick it swallowed moonlight. Stories passed down generations spoke of disappearances, ghost sightings, and old crimes buried beneath layers of moss and time. Yet, none of those stories prepared them for what they were about to witness. Branches whipped against Clara's face as she struggled to keep up with Rex. The flashlight's beam cut through the darkness, revealing fleeting glimpses of worn pathways, gnarled roots, and the occasional gleam of animal eyes reflecting the light. Rex led them deeper than Clara had ever ventured before. Finally, the dog paused at a small clearing where the forest floor was disturbed. A tattered blue blanket lay crumpled against a tree trunk, and there, almost invisible against the dark soil, was a tiny bundle. Clara dropped to her knees. "Oh God, it's a baby!" The infant was deathly pale, its fragile chest rising and falling in shallow breaths. Clara's hands trembled as she scooped the baby up, noting the bruises and scratches on its arms. The child couldn't have been more than a few months old. "Call it in," she snapped at Matt. "Get the ER prepped, now." Rex whined and licked the infant's tiny fingers as if urging it to hold on. As Matt sprinted back, Clara examined the scene further. There were signs of a struggle: broken branches, drag marks, and a woman's torn scarf snagged on a nearby thorn bush. A rusted tin can lay on its side, its contents spilled. A wallet sat half buried in the dirt, its leather cover worn but still bearing the initials E.C. "Emily Cartwright," Clara murmured. The missing girl, the implications hit her like a blow. Could this child be Emily's? And if so, where was Emily now? Within minutes, they were back at the hospital, a whirlwind of activity overtaking the graveyard shift. Nurses and doctors surrounded the child while Clara clung to the diaper, certain it held some hidden clue. Sheriff Tom Weller arrived just as the infant was stabilized. A gruff man with decades of service, Tom took one look at the scene and knew this wasn't an accident. "Any idea where he found the kid?" Tom asked. "Out by the woods, near Old Miller's Hollow," Clara answered. Tom's face darkened. "You said Rex led you there?" Clara nodded. "Jesus," Tom muttered. "You don't think this could be connected to the missing girl, do you?" Everyone knew about Emily Cartwright. The 19-year-old had vanished 2 weeks ago, last seen near those very woods. The search had turned up nothing but a few discarded belongings and whispers of something foul. Clara's throat tightened. "We need to find out where that baby came from." And so the investigation began. Detectives combed the clearing at dawn. What they found sent shivers through the seasoned officer's bones: bloodstains, broken branches, a woman's torn scarf. No footprints leading away. Signs of hasty departure, and worse, something dragged into the shadows. The diaper, analyzed at the lab, revealed trace DNA. Not just the baby's, but a second, unidentified female. The local coroner confirmed what Clara feared: the blood on the diaper didn't all belong to the child. In the hospital, the infant, named Hope by the nurses, fought for life. Rex refused to leave her side, standing vigil by the crib. More than once, his low growls disturbed the quiet night, as if sensing danger that others could not. The townspeople gathered outside the hospital as rumors spread. Was it Emily's child? Had she given birth in the woods? Was someone trying to hide a terrible secret? Reporters swarmed Memorial County Hospital, their vans lined along the road. Satellite dishes pointed skyward. A national morning show dispatched a crew. Yet, beneath the surface, an undercurrent of fear gripped the town. Everyone knew that Old Miller's Hollow had a dark history, a place of whispered ghost stories and vanished drifters. The search party grew, venturing deeper into the forest. What they discovered chilled them: a half-collapsed shack, hidden by thick undergrowth. Inside, evidence of recent habitation: a threadbare mattress, a baby bottle, and a diary. The diary's pages, written in shaky handwriting, revealed Emily's desperate entries. Notes about being held against her will, of a man she dared not name, of fear for the baby she was about to bring into the world. The final entry was a scrawled plea: if anyone finds this, please save my baby. Sheriff Weller clenched his jaw, the weight of responsibility pressing on him. We'll find whoever did this, he vowed. Yet, the deeper they dug, the more the town's ugly secrets came to light. Names long respected in Memorial County whispered in connection to the old crimes. The Cartwright family, once pillars of the community, found themselves at the center of questions. That night, Rex growled low in his throat, staring toward the woods. Something, or someone, was still out there, and the real story had only just begun. Morning broke over Memorial County, casting a misty haze over the surrounding hills. The town awoke to a new kind of fear. Headlines screamed about the abandoned baby, about the heroic dog, and about the dark possibilities now hanging over Old Miller's Hollow. The investigation moved quickly. Sheriff Tom Weller coordinated search teams while Detective Amy Morales, a sharp-minded officer recently transferred from the city, took charge of the case. Amy was relentless, combing through Emily Cartwright's past, the townsfolk's alibis, and the long-forgotten records of the Hollow. Meanwhile, at Memorial County Hospital, little hope remained in intensive care. Rex, unmovable from her side, had won the hearts of the hospital staff. He paced the halls, sleeping only when exhaustion overcame him. Amy's first breakthrough came from the diary found in the shack. Handwriting analysis confirmed it belonged to Emily. The entries painted a horrifying picture. Emily had been lured to the woods by someone she trusted and imprisoned in the shack. Forced to give birth in squalor, she'd hidden the baby when she heard her captor return. Whoever did this was watching her, Amy told Tom grimly. The local forensics team processed the shack. They found fingerprints matching a known felon, Wayne Harrow, brother of Dr. Eli Harrow. Wayne had a record for assault and drug distribution but had seemingly disappeared months earlier. Wayne and Eli didn't exactly see eye to eye, Tom mused. You think Eli knew his brother was hiding out in those woods? Amy wasn't convinced either way. She paid a visit to Dr. Eli Harrow. The hospital's senior physician was exhausted but composed. In his office, surrounded by medical books and certificates, Eli denied any knowledge of his brother's whereabouts. I haven't seen Wayne in over a year, he said. I knew he was trouble. I cut ties. Yet, Eli's hands trembled slightly. And Amy caught the flicker of unease in his gaze when she mentioned Emily. Doctor, Amy pressed, was there anything unusual the night Emily disappeared? Any visitors? Any patients acting odd? Eli hesitated. There was an anonymous emergency call. Came from a payphone near the woods. Claimed someone was hurt out there. I sent an ambulance, but the crew found nothing. Amy made a note. Another mystery to unravel. As the investigation widened, townsfolk began whispering names. The Cartwright family's patriarch, Benjamin Cartwright, was a wealthy landowner with heavy influence. Rumors suggested Benjamin had disapproved of Emily's relationship with a local boy named Jared Kemp, a mechanic with a reputation. Amy questioned Jared at his garage. Jared, pale and visibly shaken, admitted Emily had confided in him about someone stalking her. She was scared, he confessed. Said someone was leaving notes at her window, threatening her to stay quiet about something she saw. What did she see? Amy asked. Jared hesitated. She never told me. just that it would ruin people if it got out. As pieces fell together, it became clear Emily had stumbled upon something larger than herself. Meanwhile, Rex began acting strangely at the hospital. One evening, he bolted from the room, growling and barking down the hallway. He stopped before the maintenance closet, pawing at the door. Inside, they found a blood-stained rag matching the type found in the shack. Security footage revealed a shadowy figure slipping into the hospital days earlier. The image was blurry but unmistakably male, with a limp matching Wayne Harrow's old injury. Amy and Tom organized a full-scale search. Teams combed the woods and old properties. Then came the discovery, a hidden tunnel beneath the abandoned mill on the Cartwright estate. Inside lay the remains of old contraband, makeshift beds, and evidence suggesting more than one victim had passed through there. The town reeled. Benjamin Cartwright was arrested for obstruction after evidence surfaced showing he'd paid Wayne Harrow to take care of problems threatening his family's reputation. Wayne himself was found days later, injured and delirious from a gunshot wound in a derelict barn. He confessed to abducting Emily under orders, though claimed the final act wasn't his doing. She wasn't supposed to die, he rasped. Someone else, made sure she vanished. Hope's DNA confirmed she was Emily's child. The mother's remains were later recovered in a shallow grave near the shack. The revelations shattered Memorial County's veneer of respectability. Long-hidden crimes of the town's elite unraveled, cover-ups, assaults, and conspiracies throughout it all. Rex remained the symbol of loyalty and truth. The dog who refused to give up, whose instincts saved an innocent life and brought a town's sins to light. As Hope recovered, plans were made for her to be adopted by Clara Benton, with Rex officially becoming her guardian. Yet, even as Memorial County tried to heal, Amy Morales knew not every secret had been uncovered. Some wounds ran too deep, too dark, and in the shadows of Old Miller's Hollow, something still watched. Even as Memorial County tried to move on, the unease lingered. The arrest of Benjamin Cartwright and the confession of Wayne Harrow brought relief, but not peace. For Detective Amy Morales, too many questions remained unanswered. Wayne's dying words haunted her. Someone else made sure she vanished. Who? In the weeks following the case's apparent closure, strange occurrences unsettled the town. Rex would wake in the dead of night, growling at shadows only he could sense. Hope's hospital monitors would flicker inexplicably. And Clara Benton began receiving anonymous, cryptic notes. The hollow keeps its own. Amy dug deeper. She returned to the abandoned mill, following the old tunnel beneath it. There, she uncovered a decades-old ledger hidden in a rusted safe. The entries detailed payouts, cover-ups, and names, respected townsfolk who'd paid to keep scandals buried. But one name repeated often: Harold Dean, a retired judge and close friend of Benjamin Cartwright. Harold had presided over countless local cases, many involving missing persons dismissed as runaways or accidents. When Amy confronted Harold at his grand estate, the old man sneered. "You think this town runs on goodness and honesty? We built order here. Sacrifices were made. Necessary ones. Emily Cartwright wasn't a sacrifice," Amy snapped. "She dug where she shouldn't have," Harold said coldly. "And others paid for her curiosity." He refused to confess further, but a warrant turned up damning evidence in his home: Emily's necklace, police records marked for destruction, and photographs dating back decades, including images of other missing townsfolk. The town's history was darker than anyone imagined. Meanwhile, Clara noticed something new about Hope. The infant, now recovering, would reach out only to Rex and Amy. She began to recognize a lullaby. One Clara had never sung, but which Amy remembered from the diary: "Hush now, little bird." A final search of Old Miller's Hollow, led by Amy, unearthed an old, overgrown cellar. Inside were boxes of personal effects belonging to victims the town had long forgotten. Among them, a stained journal belonging to a young girl named Mary Ellen Tate, missing since 1972. Her last entry described Harold Dean as the man who lured her there. The evidence sealed Harold's fate. He was arrested, his trial a media sensation. As for Hope, she was officially adopted by Clara Benton. Rex became a certified therapy dog, the hospital erecting a small statue in his honor. Amy Morales left Memorial County after the trial, unable to bear the weight of what she'd uncovered. But before she left, she placed a single marker at Old Miller's Hollow for those who never came home, and though the hollow grew quiet, some said that on misty nights, a German shepherd's howl could still be heard, and that Hope, now a toddler, would stop, look toward the woods, and hum a lullaby no one had taught her. The past, after all, never stays buried.